I'm Miranda with Marketing for the Uninhibited, and I'm here with your Marketing Monday tip, even though it's Tuesday. I'm sorry. I kind of lost track of time yesterday. Anyway, this week's tip is to start at square one. I just wrote a blog post about it, so you can go read the full thing there, but I'll give you some highlights here. What do I mean by square one? So if you're new to blogging or podcasting or vlogging, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, whatever the case may be, if you're trying to execute something new in your marketing plan, it can be super scary to do it for the first time, especially if you're putting your face on the internet. You're like, oh my God, everybody lives on the internet. Everyone's going to see this. They're not though, because here's why. The internet is a huge place. It's like the deep sea. I don't know if anyone else out there likes to watch Blue Planet. Blue Planet 2 is currently on Netflix, and I've watched it a lot. And when you think about the internet, you have to think about it like that, as vast and as huge as the ocean. And when you put a video, a brand new video on YouTube, and it lives in this huge space called the internet, that's like dropping a quarter into the deep sea and then expecting like every person that goes in the ocean to find it. That's not how it works. Unless you put a beacon of light on that quarter that's going to signify or signal to someone like, hey, I'm here, come look at me, then nobody's going to find you. So I find that reassuring, because unless I promote my videos at this stage in my career, no one's going to find them. Unless you're, when you get to the point where you're Joe Rogan, you're Amy Porterfield, you are Adrienne Mishler from Yoga with Adrienne, and you've literally got over 5 million subscribers on your YouTube channel. Yeah, if you sneeze during your yoga video, people are going to know and they're going to talk about it. If Joe Rogan says something ridiculous in his podcast, he's gonna, people are gonna make memes out of it, but if you're just starting out, you're not meme worthy, and that's good for you, because you can create this content, you can practice creating the content, practice refining your message, practice getting comfortable seeing your face on the screen, and then hitting submit to YouTube, and you're like, oh shit, this is out here forever. But it's not. You can delete it. You can hide your account, put it on private. You don't even have to publish your video right away. You can put it on your YouTube account and just click private, and then it's only there for you to see, which if you're going to upload it, just go ahead and do it all, do the whole damn thing if you're going to do it. So that's what the blog post is about that I wrote today. And that's the point of this, is to overcome that fear. There's only one way to overcome it. It's to work through it. Just freaking do it, man. Just show up for yourself, and you're going to feel so great. You'll be like, that wasn't so bad. I put a video on the internet today and it was great, and no one's making memes about me, and I'm not some viral what not to do sensation. But the other thing to keep in mind is that the Joe Rogans, the Amy Porterfields, the Adrienne Mishler, they all had to start by uploading that first video to YouTube. I think Joe Rogan's had his podcast for 8 to 10 years. I mean, he's done over 1,200 episodes of putting podcast videos on the internet, uploading his podcast audio to the internet. He's had a lot of practice. So if you're setting out today to record your first podcast episode ever, and you're listening to Joe Rogan's episode 1233, it's not a fair comparison. It's not even close. That's just that's mean to yourself if you're going to compare those things. Joe Rogan is a great hashtag goals for podcasting. He gets great guests. He has a very distinct, laid back, casual style. He doesn't really have any set series of questions, whereas Tim Ferriss, on the other hand, has also been doing his podcast for a while, and he has a very specific podcast regimen. And it sounds like Tim Ferriss has a lot of routines in his life, and that's working for him, and that's great. And so but it took time for him to develop what works for him, as it did Joe Rogan, as it did Amy Porterfield. As she's pretty open about the fact that her first webinar ever was not great at all. I watched a talk with Adrienne Mishler the other day, and she talked about how for the first 3 years of putting a free yoga video on the internet every single Sunday for 3 years, she didn't have more than 100 viewers to those videos. And then she did her first ever 30-day yoga journey, which if you're familiar with her, you know that that's a journey she goes on with you where she releases a video every single day for 30 days. Usually it's in January. And that's what set her off. But it took 3 years of consistently putting out a free yoga video every single Sunday. 3 years. So on the one hand, it's great that the internet is such a big place because it gives you room and space and time to mess up and get comfortable with yourself and your message and your branding and who you're talking to, what the hell are you talking about. But on the other hand, the internet is a big place. And so if you want whatever it is you're doing to take off, you have to really work at it and do it consistently and then have fun with it. Because if you're putting out your 100th free yoga video and you're like, man, fuck this, I don't even get 100 viewers, then your viewers, people are the ones that are watching, they'll pay attention to that too. So you've got to show up for yourself, show up for the 5 people that are watching your YouTube channel. Hey mom, I don't even think my mom watches this, so if you see this, thank you, I appreciate you. Show up consistently. Show up when you are scared. Show up when you don't wanna. Show up if your makeup's not done and your hair, maybe you need a haircut. I don't know. Just show up, man, for yourself. Anyway, so the point of this video is square one. And if you're at square one today, that's awesome. Congratulations for getting to this point. It's going to be scary. Go back and look at everyone else's square one. You can find the first episodes of my podcast on my YouTube channel, Marketing for the Uninhibited, or on my website. You can also find my first blog post on my website, and I'm only a year and a few months into this journey. So I'm still learning and I'm still growing and I'm still getting used to putting myself on the internet and having my opinions out there. And it takes time. So I would go back and look at, Yoga with Adrienne's first ever yoga video. Joe Rogan's first podcast episode is amazing because there are snowflake graphics involved. Amy Porterfield, I'll go all the way back to her podcast episode 1. I haven't listened to that, but I did look and it is there. And that's going to make you feel a lot better about where you're starting because everyone starts at the same place. And that's the beginning. All right, that's my marketing tip for the week. You're starting at square one, so go look at everyone else's square one to understand that they were just as insecure, new, green, fumbling around as you are right now. But the difference is they just did it. And the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get. And the more comfortable you get. And what did they say? It takes 10,000 hours of something before you become a master. So you just have to think about that. And people like Joe Rogan and Amy Porterfield and Yoga with Adrienne, they've done that. They've done that work. So they're masters because they've earned that title just by showing up every single day. So start at square one. Everyone does. Go look at everyone else's square ones. And then just show up for yourself. All right. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Stay warm out there if you're in the Midwest, man. It's about to get real cold. Bye.